Let's now turn attention to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives has commenced screening of the service chiefs. This follows screening of the security chiefs by the Senate last week. And at the opening session of the screening exercise by the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee, the newly appointed Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, says troops' welfare, deepening joint operations, and a people-oriented armed forces form the tripod upon which his administration will be placed. The nominees assured Nigerians that the armed forces will fulfill its constitutional roles and defend Nigeria's sovereignty against internal and external aggressors. And I have joining me a crisis communications expert, Jude Omeje, to discuss the House of Rep screening of service chiefs and other security issues in the country. He joins us from Abuja. Good to have you join us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
So we've seen the screening and confirmation of the service chiefs by the Senate. The House of Reps is now doing the same. And I just wanted to ask you the significance of this, especially because, one arm of the National Assembly, one half of the National Assembly has done this earlier.
Well, we are running a bicameral legislature. So it is expected that both houses, both chambers of National Assembly should be able to, have a close understanding of the candidate. So now the Senate have done theirs and they've graciously confirmed the chiefs. It is now the turn of the House of Reps to do the same. I equally believe that they will return a positive verdict on these candidates because the president, made a very good choice. Nigerians know exactly who the service chiefs are, and I'm confident that the House of Reps will equally confirm them. So it's of no significance. I mean, we're running a bicameral legislature, so it's expected. Yeah.
And I like that you mentioned, the National Assembly having a thorough understanding of the candidates. After all, they are saddled with the oversight function, of monitoring these agencies. But I also wanted to ask you, because since the announcement of the appointment of these service chiefs, we've seen nothing less than the visit of 4 state governors to the defense headquarters. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the fact that, look, we're now seeing the military as the first line of defense in the country.
Well, incidentally, this is the crux of the article, my article that came out this morning. Of course, I noted the fact that, in a couple of weeks that we have new service chiefs, not less than 4 state governors have, thronged the defense complex. It just goes to show that we have a multiplicity of international security challenges across the country. Almost every state, have one security issue or the other. But even more significant is the fact that the military has now become, as I put it there, the go-to first agency in any challenges. This is actually abnormal. The military ought to be the last line of defense. We have Nigerian police that's designed to be the first, the first responders. The lead team. Problem. No, it is only when the situation is beyond the capacity of the civil police that you expect the military to step in. But it does appear to me that every challenge, our natural instinct now is to turn towards the military. And, like I noted, the military are clearly overstretched, but thankfully not overwhelmed. So I believe that in spite of the numerous challenges, numerous expectations from the military, the fact that they are deployed in the northeast where we have terrorism going on, in the northwest where we have cross-border bandits, in the north central where we have terror bandits operating, in the southeast where you have violent agitators and sit-at-home people, in the south where you have attacks on our maritime assets, in the southwest where we have all kinds of security challenges. And in all these places I mentioned, it is the same military that are, given the job of containing them. So one would expect that the Nigerian police should be equipped to the point that they can complement the military effectively, so that the work will be a little more easier for the military, because we don't have that much of military in terms of
And Mr. Major, in the light of what you're saying now, the military being overstretched, how do you expect them, the military to approach the security challenges? Should it be approached as a national security crisis and dealt with, holistically, simultaneously, in all of the regions, or should it be taken region by region?
Yes, the military is not going to do the job alone. If you listen.
Mr. Major, please go ahead. We can hear you.
The military has a way to do. What I'm trying to say is that the military has their own jobs cut out for them. What I expect is to see a robust, synergy between and among the military, security, intelligence, and response agencies across the country. They must work together. They must collaborate. They must share intelligence. They must, work, in synergy so that this must be done. And besides, all the security challenges we have, all of them are not the type that you can deal with in military operations. Some of them you can deal with in non-kinetic approach, which is exactly what the vice president was talking about in Kano, that the government may have to come out with a very robust roadmap on how to combine kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to deal with some of these situations. Because there are areas, for instance, in the Northeast, where the problem is purely almost ideological and religious. You cannot shoot your way through the problem. So you need to, probably infuse non-kinetic, approaches, and then of course you have to back it up with kinetic approach, because if those guys are killing Nigerians, you don't expect the military to sit back. So I believe that the military is up and must be able to contain the situation if we give them the necessary support.
And we'll see how they intend to approach the security challenges. Thank you so much for talking to us. Crisis communications expert Chidi Umeji.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity here.